Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. My name is Carl Lightning and today we're talking about a very exciting application that has just dropped officially on the new iOS, which is Apple Journal. This was teased to us and showcased at WWDC this year to show where Apple are going with their development in terms of integrating content on your iPhone for your own health.
Let's go!
So let's actually delve into what is Apple Journal, is it any good, and does it affect Apple's reputation, as we know that they create very good hardware and very good software like maps, cameras, photos, these apps that you use on a daily basis. They are second nature to all the users and create that iPhone experience, including iMessage, FaceTime. There's so much inside the Apple ecosystem that just make the iPhone what it is. So adding something like a journaling app, which to be honest, isn't for everybody, is quite an interesting take. However, Apple, of course, have moved into the health and well-being space, and they've been doing this since day dot with the Apple Health app. Not only could you have your health record on there, you could also you can log medicines, you can log water, anything you wanted to log that is going to help keep your health in check is what Apple were doing from very early on. Then they moved, of course, to the Apple Watch, which has the Fitness and the Fitness Plus program, which allows you to do mindfulness and exercises to just keep your mind and body the best it can. And now they are going into the more mindful side. Not only did they recently add mood tracking to Apple Health, but now we have journaling, which isn't really a medical side or more health, but it definitely benefits your well-being. The first thing that Apple did, I would say, very good, is kept it simple. Now, obviously, Apple's design is simple, but journaling itself has no rules, there's no technicality about it. It's more about having a habit of journaling and expressing your feelings through the events and how you feel. And that's what I think Apple captured quite well. You open the application up and you can just add an entry as simple as this. Inside the Journal app, you just hit the little plus. You get some recommendations of moments to talk about. You've obviously got reflection moments as well, so if you've got nothing to talk about, but if you want to do a straight entry, you can do that. You can enter the text for your entry super simple. You can attach a photograph, take a photograph, add some audio, which is good, and also add a location if you want to, and then you can press done and your note is added at the top. The other elements that you can add to a post really bring the posts alive in terms of location, seeing the sounds and the podcasts that you listen to in that moment. And when I logged one about Saturday night, it had the location, a few selfies, and it just really brought the reflection together like no other journaling app has, because of course Apple have got all this data from your device that can put it into this little memory for yourself. Now, Apple pride themselves on security, so do not worry when you're using this application that data is leaving your iPhone. The extra addition of prompts is definitely a big one for me. I actually think this is a really good feature to have from launch, because journaling's great. If you go out and you see the world and you see the experiences and you've got all this data from what you've done in the day. But if you didn't do anything, then sometimes when you come to journal because you want to, you can't really talk about, well, I sat at home all day and didn't get to reflect. So having these prompts are great because, like for me, if I've played the PlayStation for 2 days straight, I haven't left the house, I've enjoyed myself, but I still want to journal. Having a prompt about what I value or what I've learned over this weekend is still a great addition to add to my journal because it's still that standard reflection that you get. Now, journaling is a very personal experience, so Apple, of course, have enabled Face ID if you choose on the journaling app, and they also give you the creativity to choose how long it is before the Face ID comes back up. That's, I think, the first time I've seen that in an iOS platform, a timed Face ID. So it just means if you're tabbing in and out looking at memories or photos while you're reflecting, you don't need to keep unlocking it every 5-10 minutes. You can choose it, but I've chose for the second minimum, I think, just to keep that extra privacy. I'm very impressed with Apple Journal. I think it's hit the ball running, but I think it's missing a lot of the features that make an Apple product Apple. There's a lot of integrations missing, which is very strange. Freeform, which is the other latest app that came out about 6 months ago, has a lot of integrations involved, and I'll talk about some of the integrations that are missing, and it just feels so strange to have an Apple application that takes a lot of information from the devices, information you don't even think the iPhone can take, but it can, but it's missing so much more. The first one is hashtags. I'm not sure why they've left this off. I mean, I get it that you wouldn't be able to hashtag in a real journal, but people journal inside their Apple Notes. So having this app has kind of like separated your personal from your notes now. But not to have hashtags, that's a bit strange. Now this, of course, is the launch version, so this may change in a couple of weeks' time. But this is one of the features I thought would be there from standard. The next one is widget support. Now, obviously, yeah, not every app that Apple make gets a widget, but I believe that the journal app should have one, even if it is just the prompts from the journal itself, like to get you to come into the application. Maybe you're thinking, oh, I haven't done anything today, and you see one of the prompts, you can tap on it and then you can fill in your entry. I just feel like that is a missing feature that could have been there, including widgets, which of course has come in the last 2 updates of iOS, which is obviously a reconfiguration of how the whole software works. I really did think that that was going to be there. This next one really does confuse me. As an Apple user that's been using an iPhone since 2014, I'm absolutely blown away that this feature doesn't exist. But when you long press on an application, you might know it as haptic touch or 3D touch, depending on when you joined with the iPhones, you get a menu like recent text messages, recent calls, certain parts of the application. Long press is just a shortcut into the application. But this one doesn't even have the option to add an entry. This is like basic I thought Apple would do. It's crazy to think that. I don't know whether they're just trying to keep the app as simple as possible so you don't have any technical options to it, but to have something that I believe is like core Apple is just mad that it's not there. Getting into the more technical side, obviously Shortcuts or Siri Shortcuts is an application where you can not code, but you can build up programmable instructions to do certain parts on the iPhone. There's not anything for journal yet. Now this I expected. I think, to be honest, it's new. They don't know where they want to take the application. There hasn't been many videos or feedback probably given to Apple to know what you would actually want to code. But it's impressive that there isn't anything there apart from Open Journal. Sharing. This is really interesting, actually. The share box, it's one of the boxes you kind of forget is really powerful. You can print from here, you can copy from here, you can airdrop from here, but you can't add from your journal here. And it's like, what is this? You've got a podcast you want to add on there. I mean, if you listen to the podcast, great, it will go into there. But if you just want to share it because you're reflecting on something you listened to, no, you've got to take a screenshot if you want to put that bad boy in your journal. Like, I know it's not a problem to screenshot, but like, it's just like, come on, where's the integration? Apple pride themselves on a big ecosystem. Obviously the Apple TV, the Macs, you've got the phones, the iPads, everything's all developed to work really well with each other. And even the programs, like you add something to your calendar with an address in your sat-nav, if you're on that date, the address is in your sat-nav pre there. It's like there's a lot that this app hasn't got yet, and I say yet because, to be honest, all apps start off basic. I thought that some of the options like Share To would have been great. And I'm not moaning that it's not there. I just think they probably haven't thought that people are going to want to use it to the extreme that I would use it. So hopefully we see more integrations. I'm a bit unimpressed that the Apple TV stuff doesn't come in. If you watch something on your Apple TV, that obviously syncs up with your iPhone. I thought that that would come up to say, hey, you watch this, how did it make you feel? A bit like how music makes, you reflect on music, can you reflect on a program? Again, probably will come in a future update, but yeah, I feel like there's some great integrations from the Apple Watch. There's some great integrations from like doing the walks. It knows your location, it knows what you're listening to, podcasts, it takes your photographs, but I feel like it's only got a fifth of what Apple could put in that application, and the iPhone knows pretty much everything about you, and you should be proud of that because it is almost your best friend. Mine's here sitting between my lap. I don't need it, but it's there, which is interesting, and I think there are more integrations that can be added. Apple going into journaling was definitely an interesting spin. I didn't see it coming because the Apple products are shifting and we're going into a different sort of reality now with obviously the Apple Vision coming. But to obviously emphasize on a lot of their health over the last 2 years, I've seen a massive spike in the health side of it, which is great because we live in a world where mental health is around us and I think people don't talk about it enough. So well done, Apple, because it raises the conversation. Not that you would share your journal, but it's still brilliant to have that sort of option because the phones are always on us, and I think that's a really good option. Obviously, journaling for me, it's been about 2 years now that I've experienced with it. I use Find Me in 3 months, which is a goal-based journal you come to every 3 months. I like putting pen to paper, but it's not in competition. I will use this journaling app because obviously I like to do the daily entries and see where I've gone and just reflect on it. Anyway guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed today's video. Let us know in the comment section below what you thought of Apple journaling. Is this something you expected Apple to do? You know, let's get the conversation started about this, because this is kind of a move from actually spending a lot of time on social media into another app, and I think this is good for everybody, really. Obviously, I've got a journaling stance from it, but if you've never journaled in your life, get in the comment section below, let us know what you think, because it'll be good to see the angle of what this actually is, because I think there are two sides to it, people that understand it and people that just see it as another app that you type in. So yeah, if you're an Apple Notes journaler, I guess this is the best day of your life, but for the rest of you, I hope you've enjoyed this application. And if there are any Android users, because I know there are, and don't know what Apple Journal is, let us know what's available on Android as well down below, because it might be interesting to actually have a look at some journaling apps and see what the difference is between a developed one by an app developer to a giant like Apple. So thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you in another video.